When I discovered Lunasin at UC Berkeley, I actually discovered accidentally. I found that it was binding to a specific component in the cells, which is what we call the chromatin, which is the packaging material of the DNA. Now, those packaging material of DNA, it's composed of what we call histones. Now, those histones have tails. And we've done experiments where we've shown that Lunasin specifically binds to those histone tails, to specific residues of amino acids within those histone tails. Now, that's very significant because it turns out that epigenetic mechanisms involves modifying those histone tails. Now, by Lunasin binding to those histone tails, it actually can prevent the addition or the removal of those epigenetic marks associated with those histone tails. Now, those histone tails are very conserved. I mean, what you see in plants is similar to what you see in humans, so that the biological effect on those epigenetic marks can be translated to the humans. And so when we showed that effect, we were able to link the health benefits associated with cellular health to the presence or absence of those epigenetic marks because of the Lunasin peptide. Now, when we've done experiments on cholesterol, we've actually shown that it was also involved in taking out those epigenetic marks associated with cholesterol biosynthesis. Now, having that mechanism of action, this epigenetic mechanism of action of Lunasin, explains a lot of the health benefits associated with Lunasin. Yes, the dosing for Lunarich X is based on the amount of bioactive lunasin found in 25 grams of soy protein, which is the FDA-approved amount for the health claim to reduce cholesterol as well as reduce the risk for cardiovascular disease. Now, each 125 milligram capsule of the Lunarich X is equivalent to the amount of bioactive lunasin that's found in that 25 grams of soy protein, which means that the Lunarich X has 200 times, at least around 200 times more bioactive lunasin than the industry standard of soy powder. Now, from our experiments, we determined that 250 milligrams of Lunarich X, which is equivalent to 2 capsules, was able to reduce cholesterol by 8% in subjects, in the pigs actually, that we've experimented, weighing around 60 kilograms, which is the average weight in humans. It is equivalent to 132 pounds. Now, the dose is needed to the Lunarich X dose needs to increase with heavier weight, to get equivalent results. Although not necessarily in a linear manner. That means that if you weigh like 175 pounds, you might need to have 4 capsules rather than 2 capsules. That means 500 milligrams instead of 250 milligrams. That's why we recommended that the Lunarich X dose from 2 to 5 capsules, depending on the weight as well as the desired results, the desired health results, and also the overall condition of the individuals. So if you have a certain disease and you want the lunasin to be in those tissues that you want it to be, then you want to increase it more so that the probability of the lunasin getting to those tissues will be higher. So it will be really dependent not just on the weight, but also the overall health condition of the individual, as well as the desired results. Yes, one of the major studies are currently being done on Lunasin at University of California, Davis, and I'm involved with that, is that we've shown that Lunasin can mimic a known human tumor suppressor. And that's significant because no bioactive agent, natural bioactive agent, or even synthetic bioactive agent can mimic a known human tumor suppressor. The implications for that is if you mutate that human tumor suppressor, and mutating those human tumor suppressors usually lead to cancer. In the presence of Lunasin, Lunasin can't take the place of that inactivated human tumor suppressor. That's why it can explain some of the cancer preventive effects of Lunasin. Now, as far as the effects of the Lunasin on actual cancer patients where the cancer is already there, there are significant anecdotal results now that are coming out from other universities and research hospitals. And one of the leading cancer research institutions doing Cancer Research, which is Cleveland Clinic, one of the oncologists there is partnering with us to do some of the preclinical works in mice to show that Lunasin can reduce liver as well as kidney and bladder cancer. That's just a couple of institutions doing work with Lunasin as far as cancer is concerned. But for Reliv and SL Tech, we've also partnered with other research institutions to look at to validate in human clinical trials the effect of Lunasin on lowering cholesterol, and also the combination of Lunasin or Lunarich X and Reliv now in lowering metabolic syndrome as well as causing loss of weight or addressing the obesity problem. And so we're partnering with Loma Linda University to validate those results. And recently we've also partnered with a group from Duke University where they were looking at the effect of Lunasin and Reliv supplementation in reducing muscle deterioration associated with ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. And as far as anecdotal results associated with diabetic edema and macular degeneration, we're also doing collaborating with ophthalmologists and optometrists to validate the effect of Lunasin in reducing diabetic edema as well as macular degeneration. So it's not just cancer. We've also been looking at other health benefits associated with Lunasin and validating and confirming them in human clinical trials, as well as mice xenograft experiments in preparation for human clinical trials in cancer.